Hi everyone and welcome. My name is Dora and this is my final update to Graveyard Project Pan. I'm really excited about today's finale. I've got a few more goals met and empties as well, and I'm also, apart from makeup and beauty items, I've been panning candles and tea as well. Feel free to jump around in the video if those two categories are not something you're interested in, but at the end of the video I will be sharing how well I did overall on this 6-month-long project. The creator of this project is Emily of Emily and Max, who's linked down below, and there's also a link to a collaborative playlist from this round of Graveyard Project Pan. It's been round 2 for me. Last year I did it on Instagram, and yeah, some resurrection items have definitely found their way into this project. So the idea of this project is that we're panning items that are collecting cobwebs because we've neglected them for so long, or maybe items we've never even used at all. And then there's also the resurrection category where you resurrect an item that has previously been in a project and that you didn't get to finish. Let's get into the update. So 2 updates ago I rolled in a eyeshadow palette, this one here by Ciate, and it's the I'm a Woman, What's Your Superpower eyeshadow palette. There are 24 eyeshadows in here. Let me open it up. And my goal was to use 13 different shades. At my last update, I had used 5 eyeshadows and I wore them in the video and went through exactly where I placed them, color story, swatches, all of that. So I needed to use 8 more shadows, and I have completed that goal. I did that within 2 looks. In the first look I wore Future is Female, I also wore Empowered and Independent Woman and Fiercely Fab. And then the last time I used this palette I used Power Hungry, which is this shadow here. I used Hear Me Roar, which is probably my favorite shadow in this palette so far. I also used I Am Me and Independent Woman again. I really have to say that I am so positively surprised with this palette. The shades are very finely milled, they are very powdery, but they blend very well as well. And Hear Me Roar has been such a beautiful topper shade, very sparkly. When I wore that in the look that I showed you, yes, after 8 hours, I definitely had glitter fallout, but it was okay, you know. I don't tend to use a glitter primer, so it's to be expected. Obviously there are no pans on here yet. This palette was brand new when I brought it into this project, so I'm so happy that I got to play around with it and got to have a feel for it as well. And I would really like to hit a pan or 2 in here next year. Maybe in pan those eyeshadows. So this is a goal met from my collecting cobwebs category. Staying within that category, another cobweb item is this Made by Mitchell blush here in the shade Rosy Posy. I only wrote it in at my previous update 2 months ago, and I set myself the goal of using this 10 times, and of course I managed to do that. It was a small goal, but I thought, you know, last update before the finale, it seemed like the right thing to do. Here's a swatch of that blush for you, and this is what it looks like blended out. Really nice formula. If I ever finish all the blushes that I currently want to pan in my No Buy Project pan, I would consider buying another blush. Maybe I would try out a different color, but also really happy with this. I do like a corally peach pink. The next set of items I also rolled into this project at my previous update, and I decided I wanted to use all of the nail polishes that I hadn't yet touched in 2024 once. At that point I only had 8 left, so 8 different manis within 2 months. And I'm happy to say that I almost met that goal, and I used 7 of the 8 polishes, and I even frankened one. I'll tell you why, there's a reason for it. First I'm going to show you the one that I haven't yet used, but I am due a mani, so this is going to go on next. And in that gap between me filming this and editing this, I am filming a week early, I have to say, but it's just how timing works out. So hopefully I will be able to notify you somewhere here whether I have used this polish or not. And it's a Franken shimmery orange polish. So fitting for Halloween season, so yeah. Should really get that done. And then I had in here Chalky Pink by H&M. This is the polish that I'm wearing right now. I really do like it. I do have to apply 2 coats for it to be opaque. Generally, I only do like 1 thick coat and then a quick dry top coat, and I'm fine. But yeah, this one, quite sheer, but just quite a lovely color actually. This one is a Franken in an H&M bottle. I have to say it didn't last that long. It shipped after 2 to 3 days. And because I used that quick dry top coat, my favorite is by Catrice, by the way. It's really inexpensive. If you've got access to it, it's great. Generally, my manis last about 5-6 days. But yeah, this was considerably faster. But it's a Franken, so you just never know, do you? This one, on the other hand, Flilac by Model's Own. I wore this for 6 days before it started shipping and I had to take it off. Really pretty, lavendery, lilac-y polish with silver shimmer particles in there. Then I had this red Chanel polish in here as well. I wore that once, but I combined it with an eyeshadow. I'm going to show you a picture here. I wasn't too happy with the result. The eyeshadow and the polish weren't matching that well, so I won't be doing that again. But it was a good experience and I learned something from it. There's also this Franken here that I used in this mini travel-sized Essie bottle. This was very, very thick. And I think I'm going to Franken this further to make it a lot thinner. 2 more left to go. This one is Smith & Co. Kundalini Hustle and it's empty. The bottle broke. So watch this. Yeah, this bit broke here. That's still screwed in. So it came loose and I had to rescue the polish in here and put it into an empty nail polish bottle, which luckily I had because I hold on to my empties like any good panner does. So I poured it into this bottle here. It wasn't empty, but it had the slightest little bit of a Franken purple shimmery nail polish still left in there. So it made this red Smith & Co. polish shimmery and a little bit more muted, a little bit darker. I'm okay with it though. I didn't massively love that red. I have a lot of red polishes, so I'm okay with it and I will definitely use it as much as I can, Franken it and use it up that way. But because the Smith & Co. bottle is a lot bigger than this one here, I'm not even sure what brand that came from. It was probably a base coat. I had some leftover polish and I decided to pour it into this polish here. This is by Sabrina Rudnick, or it was, now it's a Franken. And it was this very baby pink mother of pearl type of nail polish that was also in this project and that I had already used when it was still baby pink. So I put the remainder of the red Kundalini Hustle by Smith & Co. in here. And this is the color that's come out. I'm quite excited about this color. Can't wait to use it. And because I keep track of my polishes in a notebook, I can even show you some before and after swatches. So this is the color that it was before. And now it looks like this. Final set of items from the Collecting Cobwebs category. At my last update, I put in 4 sachets, face mask and other skincare items. And the goal was to use them up. There was a night moisturizer by Dermasense, which I used up within a couple of uses. And that was the first item I used up on the 17th of September. Then I used up this moisturizer called Hydro Boost by Neutrogena. And I used that up just 3 days after on the 20th of September. I had another Neutrogena moisturizer in here. This one is Cellular Boost and I used this up in October, on the 18th of October. So not that long ago. I really enjoyed all of them. It was sort of tricky. I wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to use them before I had to be somewhere, teach a class or whatever, in case I would break out. But happy to report that none of these items brought me out, despite the fact that they were quite old. And my final Collecting Cobwebs item from this set, also technically a resurrection item because it was already in 50 Shades of Yellow / Gold last year, is this Ginger Beauty Gold Foil Sheet Mask. And I have not used it. A one-time use. Oh my goodness. Hopefully I'll be able to do this for myself, to use this beautiful, amazing, luscious face mask before I get to edit this video. And if I have used it, I will let you know. Let's move on to my resurrection category, and both of these items were in Graveyard Project Pan last year. There's the Elemental Herbology Oil Control Face Mask here. And at my intro, this weighed 95.63 grams. And today at the finale, I'm at 71.04 grams, and it's not done. It may still have to come here as another resurrection item next year, but you know what? It's okay. I'm all right with it. But I have upped my game a little bit. I've used a total of 24.59 grams in this entire project, this round. And I've used 11.19 grams since my last update. And at the previous update, I had used 7.34 grams. And at my first update, I had used 6.06 grams. So, you know, consistently, I've been able to up my uses on this. It doesn't feel like the formula has changed at all. It's a clay type of mask. I'm happy with this. And then finally, there is the Pie Face Botanics Face and Hair Oil. Well, I've been using it as a hair oil, and this was also in here last round too. Here is where I was in April 2023. Here is where I was in April 2024, so at the intro. And this is where I am now. I've probably used up about a third of what was left. But again, I don't think I need to force myself to speed up on this. It's a hair oil. I use it as often as I need to. I'm not going to increase that to force myself to use it that way. Maybe I'll put a different product in here next time if that seems a bit boring. But maybe it will be the year that I finally get to finish it. All right. I do have some weights though. At my intro, this weighed 46.47 grams, and now at my finale, I'm at 42.9 grams exactly. That means I have used 3.57 grams worth of oil. From update to update, I've always used about 1 gram's worth, so it's been 1.02 grams since my previous update, 1 gram exactly at my update number 2, and then between the intro and update 1 I had used 1.55 grams. I'm now going to move into my candles and tea categories, but do stick around until the end because I will share some stats in terms of how many items have I finished in this project. Let's start with the candles because I have always had 6 in here, so whenever I have finished one in the previous update I rolled in new ones to replace them. And the first candle here is an empty. I managed to finish it, and you can see even the wick is gone. So it just went out by itself, but there was still quite a bit of wax left. And what I did was I just fished it out with a long skewer. And because it's like, you know, us panners, we hold on to the stoppers or whatever because we're weighing items. I held on to it here. So this is what it looked like, you know, like a little tea candle type of thing. And this rolled up wick here didn't want to burn anymore. So I have weighed it together and I have burned 155.29 grams worth of wax. This was a Franken candle, one that I had poured myself, and I will now go ahead and pour a new candle in here. I've got this bag of scraps here, and there's also some wicks, as you can see, maybe. I'm going to do that, I'm going to film that, and I'm probably going to upload that in November, December. Yeah, it'd be like a nice Christmassy type of video, because, you know, that's coming soon, isn't it? Then I also had this Rituals candle in here, and it was new at the intro. And it's still not done. I really did try with this one. So I'm here, quite close, but yeah, I don't think I'll be able to do that in the next week. But I have managed to use up 66.16 grams worth of wax, and that is 62.32 since my last update. It smells really lovely. It's called the Ritual of Sakura. It's lovely. I think I am going to repurpose the jar again and pour more candles in here. Sticking with the homemade ones, this one is in a North Muse jar. And I had made it myself, and I did burn it just the once since my previous update. But I have been able to use 7.94 grams worth of wax here. And then there's this one here. It's a saffron and sandalwood candle, and I'm almost done with it. So this is another one where I could have another empty, and if so, I am going to include that if that happens before I edit this video. Here's where I am with this one. This was another new one, and I rolled it in at update number 1. And so far I've managed to use 20.85 grams of wax, and that means I've burned 18.05 since my last update. Then there's the scented IKEA candle here in this lilac-y color and scent. And I definitely burned it quite a few times since my last update, but I'm not that close to it being done yet. But I did manage to burn 34.1 grams worth of wax, and that is 8.01 since my last update. And my final candle is this orange one here. It is scented. I feel like in the intro I said it wasn't, but yeah, it is scented. Very faint now because it's obviously open and no longer wrapped. Another one I really tried to finish for this finale, but oh well. I did manage to use 50.22 grams worth of wax, and that's 15.05 since my last update. All right, let's talk about tea. So I put 6 different ones into this project at the intro, and I decided not to replenish them. So I already rolled out one tea in my first update and then another one at my previous update. And this time round, I really tried, but no more empties again. I'm very, very close on a couple of them. So if anything changes, I will let you know here. There is this green tea here, Energy by Lord Nelson, an Ayurvedic herbal tea with green tea, guarana, ginger and elderflower. When I brought this into the project, I had 16 tea bags in here. At the next update, I still had 16. Then I went down to 9 and now I'm down to 2. So another 7 gone since my last update. This is all I have left. I'm kind of hopeful. I think I might have another one today, and then if I have another one tomorrow, that could work out. This next one I'm also really close on. This is a moringa tea by Buddha Teas, and I've only got 3 tea bags left. At my intro, there were 23 tea bags in here, and then at the next update, I had 9. At my last update, I also had 9, so this hadn't moved. So I drank another 6 moringa teas between my last update and today. I think I can do it. It is so yummy, it's so tasty, very soothing and calming. I would probably repurchase it if my tea cupboard has got more space. This is the fail of this entire project. Oh my goodness. Clear Spring Organic Japanese Sencha Traditional Green Tea. 20 bags in here. I haven't even opened it. This was competing with the Energy one, the other green tea. And because I don't tend to drink caffeinated tea, it was just too much caffeine. I couldn't do it. Maybe a resurrection item for next time. Maybe, I'm guessing it will still be there in 6 months. And then finally, there's this lovely decaf Earl Grey tea here, and it's loose and it's in this jar here. And there is some progress on here, but again, I didn't manage to finish it. Let's open it up so I can show you whereabouts I am. So there's about this much left here. I think that's quite a nice bit of progress. I'm going to include the difference on the screen, but it basically went down from 211.59 grams to 188.7 grams. All right, let's talk about some overall numbers. So within this round of this project, I managed to have 11 empties. I'm so happy with that. So those included a face powder that I had been panning for so long. I finally managed to finish it in this project. I also finished a body spray. I also finished 3 samples, skincare samples, and I managed to finish 2 different types of tea and also 4 candles. 4 candles. If you know, you know. I also managed to hit pan in an eyeshadow and to really substantially expand that pan as well. That was exciting too. So overall, even though there were a lot of items here where I was so close to hitting my goal, but I didn't quite make it, I'm still really happy with where I landed, with how this all went, and I'm definitely going to be joining for next year. Make sure you stick around, subscribe to my channel if you aren't already. I do a lot of panning stuff, and yeah, the candle video is going to come up, and other than that, there's a lot of no-buy project pan stuff and a lot of eyeshadow panning going on here. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to Emily for putting this project together and for hosting all of us and putting the playlist together. I know that's a lot of work, and thank you so much. And thanks to all of you for watching all the way until the end. You're the real ones. Sending you so much love, and have a fantastic Halloween. Bye bye, take care. Mwah.